Right. Let's go live. Let's go live. It's a little early, but I was talking with some people in the chat and I wanted to, Patricia, welcome. Bonjour. Bonjour. Wanted to get in here and start talking just a couple seconds early, but thank you for joining me today. A couple new people here today. K7, welcome, welcome. Already saying that I'm the best teacher. That's a lot to live up to. I hope I can do it. But if you're new here, the way this works for 1 hour, I will read the questions, answer them as best I can. I've been an English teacher for 20 years now, teaching native students. So I started this YouTube channel about almost 5 months ago, trying to help people around the world learn English a little bit better because it's such an important language, and I figure I could do that. And we've created a very nice community here. Many people show up to many of the live chats. We got Rod here, Mega, welcome. I do want to talk about thumbnails in a minute. Mega is here. I thought I saw Nico, Eagles Fly from East Timor. Amina has a couple questions already. I would say that the worst part of YouTube is smiling or not smiling for the thumbnails. It's so awkward. You should see some of the thumbnails that I don't put out there because they're just so awkward. Like, I have to look at the camera, smile. Mega does not like the serious face, so I will try not to do the serious face anymore. Yeah, so I just answer all of these questions. And on Sundays, I release what is called a quick class because I go live for 4 or 5 hours a week. It's a lot of time. If you have a busy life, I'm on summer break from my teaching job, but on Sundays, about 10 minutes worth of questions comes out. Maybe a little bit easier for review. I filmed some right before I came on live. I know Deekshant has a question in there this week. Mega had a question last week. Ivan is here again. Welcome back. Luke from Poland, welcome. Zabeda, and I believe Zabeda has a question. Yes, Zabeda has a question. You asked a very good question a couple days ago about the difference between statue and sculpture. And those two words are so similar, but they're different. So I wanted to talk about that. Amina is here, so I will get to your question. How about right now? I don't know if I've said hi to everybody. I want to. I might have. So let's get into some somebody else. Oh, somebody else's first time here. Well, welcome. It would be great if you could put the country down that you're from. If you're new, I know Rod's from Brazil. Mega is from India. Deekshant, is he here? He just commented on another video. I don't think he's here. Luke is from Poland. I try to remember where you're from. Sometimes I forget. Ibrahim is here though, and he is from Egypt. All right. Yemen, welcome. Yemen, so not far from Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I hope things are well for you in Yemen. I know there has been some conflict there, so welcome. East Timor is in the house. Eagles Fly, welcome. So the first question Amina asked before the chat started. Oh, and if you want to ask a question, my channel is still so small, put it in the chat and I will answer it. If I miss it, I'm sorry, ask again. It's probably because I didn't see it. So Amina has the first question and she's wondering, what does cited mean? And I copy and paste down in the chat so you can follow. So cited has two meanings. If you are writing a research paper and you are finding other books for your research, you will have to cite that. Cite. And it's spelled exactly how Amina spelled it in her question. You will have to cite that, meaning you will have to give credit for the people who did the research first. That's a verb. The noun is citation. And you can be cited or issued a citation for like parking tickets. Police officers could issue you a citation. We also call that a ticket. So, two meanings for citation. Pop off. Also, Amina, nice one. Pop off. Phrasal verb. I know if you are learning English, phrasal verbs are probably something you hate. Probably hate phrasal verbs. And native speakers use them all the time. Sorry about that. So pop off would mean to do something quickly. Maybe you lost your temper. Maybe you got really mad at somebody and you popped off. Maybe you just lost it. Maybe you started swearing. I know all of you are nice people. You wouldn't do that, but you might pop off. So anything done quickly, often when you say something, you might pop off and you might regret it after. Often when you pop off, you're not even thinking. It just comes out. So I hope that helps. Hope that helps. I say that a lot. I say that a lot. The channel banner, Daniel from Brazil made, and he wrote that. He said, hope that helps. I hope that helps. And because we're outside, you never know who's going to walk by, and you might hear them. Some of my neighbors. Oh, Brazil. So, bom dia. Oh, move to where in the U.S.? Rena. I'll just say Rena. It's a little short. It's probably all I can say. Rena. But thank you from coming over from Spotify. Omega is a very serious person. Zobeida. I have gotten this wrong, I'm sorry, but I believe you are from Iran. I make the mistake sometimes, and it's a big mistake. Iraq and Iran. I mix those up. Zobeida, please correct me. So the next question from Ivan. Welcome again, Ivan. Brent, one of your last videos you said, I'll just copy and paste, so if you want to read along. Brent, in one of your last videos, you said, what about and how about cannot be used interchangeably, but my friends who are native speakers told me different info. I'm a bit confused. Yeah, so if you remember that from that live stream, sometimes they can be, but not every single time. So you can, let's say you saw a movie last night and your friend did as well. You can say, how about that movie? It was really good. What about that movie? It was really good. So you can use them interchangeably. It's just not every single time. Sometimes you have to put an extra word like a 2 or a 4. But for the most part, you can use them interchangeably. For the most part. Remember, in English, we always break the rules. It's rare that you can say, always this happens. Okay. Nico, Allentown, Pennsylvania. Very nice. Billy Joel, old singer. I'm a bit older than most of the people probably here in this chat. And Billy Joel was a popular singer a long time ago. and he has a song called Allentown. Allentown. It's a good song, in my opinion. Axel from Brazil, welcome back. Axel has the same name as my nephew. So cited versus cited. They're very, very similar. Cited versus cited. So with cited, the I is a little longer. Cited, cited. And then you have a D and a T. So, but very close, very close. What is the name of the car for babies? Aniko would like to know. The car for babies. Well, we do have a car seat, which is what babies are put in when they go in a car to keep them safe, because a seat belt for little babies doesn't do any good. I mean, sometimes we call it like a toy car or a matchbox car. You might hear that sometimes. I hope that helps, but I'm not sure if it does. I hope that helps. If you want, ask it again, and maybe I can figure it out. Eagles fly. Welcome, sir. Teacher, I chatted with some friend from Australia, and she wants me to visit. Or she wants to visit you. When I asked her, where are you now? She said, just leaving. Peace wins. I don't know what that means. I don't either. That must be an Australian thing. But peace, meaning you hope it's not war, right? You hope everything is comfortable. And wins might be, if you're traveling. From what I know about geography, there is no road. There is no bridge that goes from Australia to East Timor. So she might be talking about, there are these things called trade winds over the ocean, which allows boats to sail. I'm going to do a video on this, sail like that, not sail to buy something. So that might be just a term that you might say to someone who is traveling. You want them to have a safe trip. Peace wins. We don't use that in the United States, but that's what it sounds like to me. Hope that helps. Yeah, K7. Al-Shif. I can pronounce that. So, comfortable. Notice it has table in it, and I'm sure people want to say table, but again, with English, it's not a phonetic language. You can't sound out the words because so many of our letter combinations won't even make sense. We have silent letters. So comfortable. Right now, the weather is very comfortable. I'm in the shade, but later on it is supposed to reach 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 32.2 degrees Celsius. So it won't be so comfortable in a couple hours. I hope that helps. So Ibrahim is asking, have I ever watched Banshee? I have never seen Banshee. And excuse me, I never have. But a banshee in English is it's a made-up creature. It's a fake creature, and it's a little small, and I think it makes loud noises. So I wonder if it's like supernatural. So not real, but it has maybe ghosts or goblins in it. Banshee. Natalia, Miss Bravo from Argentina, welcome. I wonder if Cecilia is in here right now. She watches the live stream often. She is from Argentina. Argentina. So, buenos dias. Buenos dias. I am studying Italian. I have been studying Italian for the past 14 months, but Zobeda, I'm hoping I saw you had us Iran. All right. Persian speaker. And Mary, I don't think she is here today, but she is also from Iran, and she added Persian subtitles to one of my videos. So I want to thank her for that. Oh no, Asma. I am not sure. And Asma is from either Morocco or Algeria, I believe. I gotta remember. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember. I don't know this. I want to ask about this shortcut letter. I don't know MIM. I know PhD stands for doctor. PhD stands for doctor. And DUMB? I don't know that. But we do have this. KISS. And those are all acronyms. Acronyms, when you make a word from multiple words, and you just use the first letter. So KISS is an acronym, and that stands for keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't overthink it. Don't make it too complicated. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. I don't know dumb, though. I don't know dumb. I'm sorry. All right, so Rod. And thank you, Rod. This is one where you really can't use how. Okay, thank you, Rod. Let's talk about this for a second. Going back to that how about, what about, where oftentimes you can use them interchangeably, whatever one you feel like. This you can't, though. So if you have, this is a great one. Rod is also a teacher. If you have a list of groceries to buy, carrot is on the list. You forget to get it. Your partner, maybe you left, your partner said, hey, don't forget the carrots. And you go get the carrots, but then you see the candy bars, and you're like, oh, I want some of these. And then you forget about the carrots, and you go back. And as you're walking out of the store, your partner may say, oh, what about those carrots? Where are they? Now, that's what you would say is, what about those carrots? If you said, how about those carrots, that would mean you're asking, oh, how did they taste? You're asking maybe more about the appearance or the taste rather than you forgot something. Forgot something, dummy. That's not a nice word. Dumb. I don't know what dumb means, though. I wish I did. Strollers. Okay. All right. Rod, what would I do without you, my man? What would I do without you? So if you put little kids in a stroller, we also call it a buggy. But when you go to get those carrots, you also might put it in your cart or your buggy. So we can use a stroller. Actually, I don't think you could see, but through the fence, there was a couple that was pushing a baby in a stroller. I'm wondering if that's why you asked. Maybe, I don't know if you could see it. But if you are in England, they call it a pram. And we do not use that term here. So stroller, buggy, pram, it's across the ocean. You might need those trade winds to get to England. We just don't use it here. All right. Natalia, thank you. Maybe taking a walk with a baby, and you could do that. You could do that in a stroller. But Rod has a child that is maybe still in a stroller. My children are not in baby car? Oh, Nico, they say that in Hungary. A baby car. You might hear baby carriage. Maybe. A couple different names. Baby car. Interesting. Thank you, sir. Ivan. I might have to use this in this quick class I'm doing. This is good. Comforter and blanket. That's a good question. Good question. So blanket, you probably know this already. It's something you can cover up with. It could be thin or it could be thick. A comforter is a blanket, but a sheet, which is something really thin, is not a comforter. A sheet. English, we have a sheet of paper, but a sheet usually means something very thin. A comforter is always a thick blanket, and it comes from comfortable. It's supposed to comfort you when you wrap up in it on a cold winter night. Comforter. And on my bed, in my bedroom, we do have a comforter, and below that we have a sheet, thin sheet. So great question. Thick blanket, basically, comforter. And they're just all called blankets. Baby stroller, thank you guys, thank you guys. Sharef is here. Sharef, welcome. Oh dear. Zobeda. Oh no. I can answer most questions most of the time. Shref is from Algeria. Oh, I know Algeria very well. It's not the biggest in Africa, is it? That might be the Congo, but it's big. It's big. Not far from Morocco. French and Arabic speakers. What about curtains and blinds? What are they called when they're made from bamboo wood? Wow, that's a good question. So a curtain is usually solid. A curtain is usually solid and it blocks out the sun. Blinds, I have some blinds. Actually, can you see it though? Right way up there. So blinds have the ability to open, like little parts of them will open and shut. Curtains, you usually pull like this and it's one complete fabric. The bamboo wood ones, I don't know. You could definitely call them blinds. But I think they do have another name, and I can't remember it right now. I'm sorry. Oh, Kato from Germany. Welcome. The only thing I know in German, I think, is Auf Wiedersehen. But that means goodbye. You don't want to leave yet. Goodbye. Hello, welcome. I know Volkswagen, the people's car. Yeah, but welcome from Germany. Oh. You've been watching for 2 months. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Michelle is here. Welcome. All right. Okay, I'm missing some things in the chat. I'm sorry. Oh, Asma's from Egypt. I'm sorry. Egypt. Egypt is in the house. Ibrahim. Asma. We sometimes say that in the house, meaning they're being represented today. Egypt is in the house. All right, I need to go way back because I've missed some questions. I'm sorry. Remember, if I ever miss your question, just retype it and I'll get to it. At 11, I am going to hop over to Bob the Canadian's chat. He also goes for an hour live. And then after Bob the Canadian's chat, you can come back to my channel because I have a mega lesson releasing all about rivers, where I talk about Latin and Greek roots, idioms, lots of vocabulary, all around rivers. All right, another question, please. What's the meaning? Oh my gosh, that's a lot of questions right there. Holy cow. Let me just do one of them, okay? I don't know biblical fool. Baptist, I do know. So, oh, there's a bird. Can you see that on the camera? There's a bird right here. Just landed on it somewhere right there. What's up, buddy? A little bold of him. So steroids. Steroids have a bad reputation, but they can be good. So some bodybuilders take steroids to build up their muscles. But a doctor can give you a steroid if you need to be healed. So steroids, the connotation for the steroids, the meaning of the word is usually bad. People think bad things, but it could be good. Steroids are sometimes there to help you, but sometimes people abuse steroids. Baptist, that's a type of religion, and it's a Christian religion. The Christian religion has a lot of, they're called sects, but it doesn't sound like that. You got to be careful when you say that. And Baptists are one type of Christians. Nah, never be sorry. Never be sorry about asking a question, Al Schriff. Don't worry about it. It could have been in Hello Talk. I have a book on learning Arabic. One day, I would love to learn Arabic. Right now it's French. Maybe, did I say French? Right now it's Italian. And Portuguese and French, I think, after. I've been learning a little Russian, but I need to focus on Italian. I like so many different languages. Oh, Zobeda, you translated. The problem with the translating of the subtitles, YouTube never lets me know that they've been done. I have to actually look through all of the videos and see if there are more subtitles. They don't give me an alert. I don't know why they do that. But if you could, let me know the video if you would like, but thank you. Oh. Rena is asking about detours in the US and the different colored signs. Green, blue, orange. Most of them are orange. Most of them are orange where I live, but each city might have their own color. Each state might have their own color. I do believe orange is the preferred, the most popular, but I think it just depends on the city, what signs they bought. Oh, Eagles Fly is asking about the languages I know. I only know English. I'm learning Italian, but only 1 year. I need to get a lot better. I would like to learn a lot of languages. Nico asked yeah, that's my job, right? You asked because you didn't know and you thought I might know? Oh, that's my job. Thank you for asking the question. Jorge from Mexico, welcome. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. What's the difference between strict and stern, Rod would like to know. They are pretty much the same. They're pretty much the same. If you are strict with your children, you probably watch them very closely. You probably make sure they're doing the right thing. You can also be stern with your words. If they are a little short, like if I were to talk to my children in a stern voice, I might say, I told you, don't do that, and you did it. That's stern. That's stern. But they're both very similar, meaning you expect people to follow the rules. Michelle, welcome. But we is here. We is here. Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, Algeria. Oh, Algeria is the biggest country in Africa now that Sudan has separated into Sudan and South Sudan. I had a student one time from South Sudan, Juba, right? Juba is the capital of South Sudan. Was it 2011? One of the newest countries in the world, South Sudan. Yes, as soon as I'm done here, I'm going over to Bob the Canadian's chat. He's going live in half an hour. So we'll be here for another half an hour. How about that? Aroni is here. Buongiorno. Buongiorno. Buon pomeriggio. Probably over there, right? Probabilmente. That's a hard word to say. Probabilmente. Yeah, probably. Over there. It's in the afternoon. Pomeriggio. Oh. Ivan is asking about question tags. I did a whole video. Cecilia from Argentina said, question tags, that would be a good video. And I made a good video. I think it's good. Isn't it or doesn't it for the question tags? And often in English, as I said in that video, we use question tags when we think we know the answer, so we don't want to ask the question. But let's say if you couldn't remember if it rained the day before or not, but you think it did, you say, it rained yesterday, didn't it? So you let the listener know that, you have an idea, kind of remember. Isn't it or doesn't it? So that would have to do with is or does, which are both very close. So I'm a little colorblind, which I can't tell colors sometimes. So I might say, oh, that dress is red, isn't it? But if it's actually doing something, you might say, that car runs, doesn't it? So it's just a couple different states of being, and those are really difficult verbs to understand. So basically, if something is just is, it's just kind of being, but the does means it's actually like doing something, maybe like that car running. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. All right. Henry is here. Welcome from Indonesia. And I did give you a shout out on the quick class that comes out tomorrow for those Indonesian subtitles. Thank you so much. Ibrahim. It's very good. Bob the Canadian is the best, I think. He's been doing it a long time. And I like to think I learn a lot from him. So he's awesome. Eagles fly. Yeah, so Bob the Canadian, I'm going to go over to his channel, watch his live stream. And then on my channel, I have that mega lesson. I filmed it earlier this week. I went to a river and it's about 14 minutes, but I talk a lot about prefixes, suffixes, idioms. You might have to pause it, and I know some people take notes, but it is jam-packed with information. Jam-packed. All right. Aroni is talking about a dad joke. On the Facebook page, there's actually a link in the description. Sometimes we will take our conversations and bring them over to Facebook. Ibrahim is there. And Nori and Cecilia, they're not here. And Rod, though, Rod's here. We got talking about music a little bit yesterday. So the Facebook page is also a nice place that you can practice your English and with other people who are learning English. And sometimes I chime in. So, Erroni, his joke is, what is the downside of eating a clock? Yeah, cringy, he's saying. I'm sure it is. Most dad jokes are cringy. How many, good question, Ibrahim. How many hours do you listen to Italian? And do you focus on only one source? No, I do. That's one of the reasons I started this YouTube channel, is because I do watch many people on YouTube. And I also listen, how many hours? I'd say an hour. I'd like to listen to Italian for an hour. And I will do that when I go on my walk, when I'm doing chores. I will put my AirPods in and listen to Italian. The first year I spent reading. I think that helped. And this year I'm focusing more on listening. But I use many different sources. I use this app. I think I pay $13 a month for it. But I think I'm going to pay by the year. It's about $100, so you save some money. All right, Jorge is from Mexico. Welcome. Mijo, I just watched Godzilla on TV. Godzilla was originally born in Japan. Is it popular in the US? Do you like Godzilla? Yeah, a lot of those monster movies. Was it Mothra? Mothra as well. Godzilla. Very popular here in the US. Every couple years, they try to release another Godzilla movie that's going to be bigger and better than the last one. But I think that most people prefer, at least in the US, they prefer the old black and white movies. We is wondering, what does virtual mean? Virtual means it's not real. So you have this stuff called like virtual reality. It's looks real. It's virtually real, which means almost. Virtually means almost, but not real. Just looks it. Virtually. If I missed, Ivan is a Russian speaker. Yeah. Как дела? Привет. Как дела? Where are you from, Russia? I would like to know. But of course, Russian is spoken in many different countries. Worst dad joke. Yeah, Jorge is saying the Godzilla movie, the last one. I didn't watch the last one. It got bad reviews, so I was like, nah, I'll watch something else. Not Godzilla this time. Larissa from Russia, also, welcome. Larissa and I were supposed to get together for her class, but I don't know if we'll ever get back to a class. Asma is asking, the same question about language. All right, Maria, welcome. She's wondering, what is the best way to practice grammar with conversation, exercises? Okay. This is the way that I'm studying Italian grammar. But so many of you are better foreign language learners than I am. Please, in the chat, write, how do you study grammar? And I know Ibrahim and I have talked about Steve Kaufman, and he is a big believer in not really studying grammar. He studies it only a little bit. He says about 10% of his study time is on grammar. What he does, and what I'm trying, is listening to the language a lot so your ear understands how it is supposed to be said, so you don't have to study grammar as much. That's the idea. I haven't, but I see Ibrahim is talking about through stories. And that's what I do with my Italian. I listen to a lot. This app, they don't sponsor this channel. I pay for it. That app has, for Italian, they have 60 mini stories. They take about 4 or 5 minutes to listen to. And that's how I'm trying to work on my subject verb agreement, things like that. So I do spend a little bit of time. If you are learning Italian, Aroni has a podcast that he teaches Italian on. And I think just this week, he talked about a podcast on his podcast, something I'm studying. I think it's called Reflexive Verbs in Italian, where, and that's beneficial to me. That's helpful to me. All right. Oh, Jorge. Great point. I won't copy and paste because he just wrote that, but if you focus on grammar, you might never learn how to speak. And I think that's the goal for most people learning a language, is to speak. But the way to get good at speaking, according to Steve Kaufman, he knows a lot of languages, lots of listening, lots of reading. Asma. Okay. Asma brings up a great point. Copy and paste this. Link is good for a language you know, but not good for beginners. And I actually use, a lot of people don't like it, but I don't use it anymore. Duolingo. But I used Duolingo for the first 6 months of Italian. And that actually really did help me with some of the grammar, like how to form possessives, how to show ownership. A lot of the subject-verb agreement is helpful there. So yeah, Duolingo, and it's free. It's free. My daughter, we is saying they had you had a virtual. So we is saying that he had a virtual 8th grade graduation. My daughter did not. My daughter had a drive-by, and she is in the 8th grade as well. She and we are the same age. My daughter did not have a virtual graduation. What we did was we drove in our cars around the school, and she was handed her certificate and a t-shirt. She waved to her teachers through the car, and then we went home. So we actually left our house. If you're talking about a virtual graduation, you wouldn't have to leave your house, and you might have watched it on YouTube, or you might have watched it on Zoom, which is a popular... Oh, Maria just subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We do these live classes 4 or 5 times a week in the summer, because I do teach in a classroom, but not in the summer. And I didn't teach in a classroom this spring. I taught virtually. I taught through YouTube. So my students never had to leave their home to watch. All right, some more questions here. Oh, Duolingo is very basic, Jorge says. Look at this, Rod. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, and share. I don't say that enough, do I? Like, subscribe, and share. Not a very good YouTuber. I need to get better at that. Barry B, welcome, welcome. So what's the difference between stick it out and ride it out? Both of those are very, very close. So both of those, Deekshant, how are you? We were talking about you earlier. All good things, all good things. Talking about how you added Hindi subtitles to one of my videos, and I thanked you for it. So thank you very much. What's the difference between stick it out and ride it out? So both have to do with something that's hard and something that's long. You dirty-minded people, I hope you're not thinking. But if something is really hard and really long, difficult, let me say that. If something is really difficult and long, you might have to stick it out. let's say, I think I have done a video about phrasal verbs with stick, I think. Yes. And if I was a really good YouTuber, I would link that. But it's in the phrasal verbs playlist. So if you stick something out, let's say I joined a dance class. I'm not a very good dancer. And on day 1, class 1, I realized, oh, this class is not for me. I'm not a good dancer. I will never be a good dancer. But I might stick that class out. Maybe the class goes for 10 classes. I'm gonna stick it out. Ride it out. I probably could say I'm going to ride out the experience. Ride out is very similar. A lot of times we say this when a hurricane is approaching a city. A hurricane is approaching a city. You have the choice. You could either evacuate and leave, stay in your house, and ride it out. Hopefully the storm doesn't do too much damage. I hope that helped. They're very, very close. Very close. All right. Yes, Aroni. The link for Aroni's podcast is in every description. So it is in there. For this video, I believe it is in there. All right, another question. See, Sharef. If I miss your question, I'm sorry. Just ask it again. If you've been to Bob the Canadian's chat, he has it all. The questions are on the screen, but you can ask the questions in the chat. My chat is so small, I haven't had to make a form. So the only problem is I sometimes miss them. So the next question here. All right, do you usually use this expression? This color give an advance at your face, or that shirt looks good on you? Yes, Sharef, we often do. We often do. I think in the last live chat, Cecilia said, she said it like this. I think I was wearing a purple shirt. She said, purple suits you. So that's one way you can say, just depending on the skin color or whatever, maybe white really works. White's a great color. So notice I said white with an apostrophe, S, meaning white is a good color on you. White's a good color on you. White looks good on you. Oh, that red, you could say that red really brings out your eyes. If you are trying to date someone, this channel might help you get a date. So if you want to compliment somebody, you could say their eyes. Oh, that red shirt really brings out your eyes, makes those eyes pop. Dating advice and English lessons. I don't know anything about dating. I haven't been on a first date in 23 years. I've been married to my wife, happily married to my wife for 23 years. Jamie, sometimes she joins the live chat. She was in the live chat on Wednesday. I'm sorry, I am missing some questions here. Oh, Deekshant says, you're welcome. Yes, thank you very much. Oh my gosh, Eagles Fly. I think this is a question for other people besides me, because I'm still just a very early language learner. You guys are much better. But I have a theory. I would love to hear what other people think. See, I know I'm here to help you with English, but sometimes you guys help me with my foreign languages too, so thank you. What are the of these four skills, which are the most difficult? Writing, reading, listening, speaking. In my opinion, it's got to be speaking. Beautiful butterfly just flew by. It's got to be speaking, in my opinion. And the way I am doing this, I started with writing and reading first. Now I'm moving into listening, and hopefully next year I will move into speaking. And you should never neglect. I still do reading, a lot of reading, and I still do writing. I should get better with my writing. But in my opinion, speaking is the most difficult because it has to be done, big word, spontaneously. It has to be done spontaneously. You can't think about speaking too long. People will get bored. With writing, reading, it's not spontaneous. You can take your time. Listening happens a little bit more quickly, but spontaneous. It has to happen just like that. Ibrahim. So kind, so kind. But like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff, right? All that stuff. So, Ivan, here's a good question. Good question. Why do they tell me that when I live in the US, my English will be much better than during my years of studying in the Ukraine? You know, I don't know. Nowadays, 2020, nowadays, you can immerse yourself in the language right at home. Excuse me. Some people say that you will actually learn quicker if you don't go to the country. Because, especially as a beginner, because the language will happen so quickly for you if you went to the US that you might be overwhelmed and you might get burnt out, get frustrated. Whereas in Ukraine, you can watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts at your own pace, so you're not overwhelmed. But of course, if you become an intermediate learner, speaker, and then you go to the US, everything you see will be in English. I mean, we have a little French and Spanish, but most everything you see will be in English. The people you speak to, mostly, will be in English. So, yes, Deekshant, I want to mention that new profile picture, right? New profile picture, looking sharp. I like the beard. Aroni. Phrasal verbs. Thank you, sir. Does that work? Oh, yeah, I think he can add links. Oh, it's just a new picture? Looking good. All right. Max, welcome. Max says, I'm French. Welcome. Bienvenue. Welcome. I'm trying to get a better accent. So, I have said this a few times on these live streams and in my videos. Don't lose your accent. The French accent is so cool. And that goes for the Arabic accent. That goes for the Indian accent. That goes for the Hungarian accent. Like, what a cool. Don't lose your accent. Keep your accent. We already have 300 million Americans who speak like Americans. Be unique. Keep your Egyptian accent. Now, you want to be clear. Don't try to lose your accent. Keep your accent. Yeah, and we says speaking and listening in English, definitely. The listening, the good thing about the listening is you can do, that's what I'm doing now. You just do it while I'm doing chores. My brain might tune out, but I'll get it back. And you're not gonna feel pressure to try to speak. So I really like the listening. Oh, speaking, so difficult. Miho, thank you. Yes, I should start a new channel, learn dating with this guy. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I'll try. But don't blame me if he or she doesn't like you. Don't blame me. Jorge, thank you so much. I feel like I'm missing some things. We got about 5 more minutes, and then I would like to head over to Bob the Canadian's chat. Okay, what I was saying, Rod is talking about John Cusack, House of Cards. So he is Netflix series, House of Cards. They used to have that guy, Kevin Spacey. Apparently, he did some bad things with some underage boys, I believe. So they kicked him off that show, and now they're going to get John Cusack. John Cusack is amazing. His sister, Joan Cusack, is in one of my favorite movies, Toy Story 2, 3, and 4. She's Jessie. That's awesome. Zobeda is wondering about any Spanish podcasters. I'll copy that down there. Any Spanish podcasters? What I'm hoping with Spanish, because I would like to learn that one day too, that if I learn Italian and I learn Portuguese, Spanish won't take as long. Maybe a year, and I can just nail Spanish. But Italian is my first language to learn, and it is slow. It is slow. All right, any last minute? Oh, Asma, I did see this question earlier. I'm sorry. So she just wrote it there. Live on a written budget. Just live on a written budget and don't spare the rod. Max, thank you for subscribing, my friend. Thank you. I don't know what that means, but in English, there is a biblical saying, I believe, and it's something like, oh, my neighbor is mowing the lawn. Hope it's not too loud. When I hear spare the rod, oh, spare the rod, spoil the child. That's what that is. Spare the rod, spoil the child. It basically means like beat your kids and they will act better. So if you don't, the rod, like a stick, if you spare the rod, that means if you don't use it, then your kids are going to be spoiled. So I don't know what that means exactly, but it might mean like, I don't know, but if you spare the rod, that means you gotta maybe work hard on that. I've never heard that. Never heard that. All right, it is about that. Can you hear that? I don't even know what she's doing. Oh, I think she's power washing. Let's go see what a power wash looks like. All right, this is a little cringy. I can't even see where it is. Over there. But basically a power washer, I'm not sure what you call it in your language, but it's a machine that shoots out water at a really high level, high pressure, and it cleans things. So a power washer. So somebody had asked me to make a video on tools. So power washer. I need a power washer. Some people, when we first moved into this house about 8 years ago, you can use a power washer to clean the side of your house, the vinyl siding it's called. But we don't have a power washer. I may have to borrow my brother's power washer. So I'm gonna head over to Bob the Canadian's chat. Thank you so much. Some new people here today. We will do this again next, I think on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I will put out a link. Thank you all for subscribing. If I didn't get to your question today, I'm so sorry. I will watch the chat over again. And tomorrow will be that quick class. And if there's a really good question I missed, I will put that in the quick class. So thank you all for joining. I'll see you maybe in Bob's chat. All right, thank you guys so much. This is always fun. I love doing it. Love seeing you guys. Thank you. Adios.